Hi folks, welcome to my humble homestead in the forest, and today on this snowy mid-November day I'm making a roasted vegetable dish for lunch. Days like today are brilliant for that kind of thing because well, it's a hearty sort of a and it'll smell good as it gets roasted. And we have a wood-fired oven, but I mean, you don't have to. You'll still be able to smell it throughout the house. And at this time of year, regardless of where you live, at the supermarkets, you're going to see all root vegetables on sale right now. So carrots, beets, turnips, potatoes, whatever, rutabaga. And it's a very easy dish to make because it takes time to prep it, but you don't have to babysit it too much. You prep it, you put it in the oven, and it knows what to do from there. So potatoes. If even it would even be better if it's everything that you grow in your own garden. But if you didn't, you can still buy them from the supermarkets. And it's not going to be an expensive dish. Like I said, they're on sale right now. But for us, a lot of it we planted ourselves, and but it's not for free. I mean, it takes a lot of time. You just know what you're eating, what kind of soil, where they got their nutrients from. But it's not by any means free. And so potatoes I cut into this sort of size because the smaller ones I leave whole, and the bigger ones I cut in half. The point of all of this is, with all the vegetables that I'm going to be putting in today, is that they can be ready at the same time. If you put the small ones and the big ones at the same time, the small ones will get ready way before the big ones, and they'll shrivel up into nothing, and the big ones will take forever. So if they're more or less the same size, and they'll cook better and more evenly at the same time. The garlic I'll leave in their skin. I mean, you can peel them if you like, but I found that if you leave them in their skin, the skin acts like a sort of a jacket, sort of a, you know how you use like a tin foil to wrap things so it can steam and cook better. This will still roast really nicely. It'll become like a toothpaste kind of consistency. Whereas opposed to if you peel the skin off, they'll get a bit harder and kind of gummy. But I mean, try it. Do one with and one without if you're going to make it. So I'm going to get on with my potatoes. You see how this one's not very pretty, and that's okay. This is a secret that the farmers and the homesteaders or growers don't tell you. All the not so pretty produce either goes to their animals, or they become feed for their animals, or they become food for themselves. So this chunk of carrot, I'm just going to leave. So I cut it in half and half again. So I'm going to leave to about the same size as my potatoes. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that the farmers or growers don't mention that, the least pretty eggs or produce or whatever is consumed by themselves. The reason why I say I don't know why it's a good thing or a bad thing is because when some people start growing their own things, vegetables or whatever, keeping animals, they've come to believe or think that everything is as pretty as what's in the store, when it's actually not true, because those are the prettiest. Only the prettiest anything makes it to the store, and so things are gonna be dirty. Things are gonna have a split. Things are gonna be having, not, what do you call it, Instagram perfect. And we don't live an Instagram life. I mean, not just we don't live an Instagram life. Maybe you don't also live an Instagram life. So don't make it too hard. The snow's falling off the roof. Don't make it too difficult for, you want to make it look pretty for your followers or whatever. But the fact is that by doing so, you're making unrealistic expectations for other folks. So I'm showing you, as I do everything on this channel, in the videos that I make, the good and the not so good, but the real. Certainly the real. So you know that this is how we actually live. No waste. I mean, that goes in the compost. That becomes food. And so you see how this carrot is not pretty at all. So when we have lots of power, I juice these. It's even easier. Less cutting involved. But when I don't, it becomes roasted vegetable, and you won't even know that it looks like this by the time it's done in the oven. You can cut as much as you like, especially if you have a compost bin. As I said, it doesn't go to waste. Now, as I did with my potatoes, but you didn't see, I have a bowl that has organic coconut oil in it. You can use lard or any kind of oil, but please don't use olive oil, because it doesn't have the same heat, high heat tolerance, or smoke. What's the word I'm looking for? Smoking temperature. It'll come to me. So I got a bowl of coconut oil on the stove, and I'm going to sprinkle some sea salt in it. We found that sea salt works best with everything, and I'm just going to roll these around in it so they're coated with both oil and sea salt. And they go on the roasting pan or cookie sheet or whatever that you're going to use to put them in the oven. Now make sure that your roasting pan or cookie sheet or whatever that you put them in is also preheated. And also, the less your vegetables are touching each other, the nicer the roast. The heat can go all the way from all around them, and the heat can touch them from under, above, sides. But if they're touching, well, the parts that are touching aren't going to be as nicely roasted. This is the bowl I was telling you about. It's got coconut oil in it. Now it's all kind of shiny. I'm going to go put them on the stove, on the cookie sheet. Okay folks, now I'm going to be preparing my beets just to show you the different sizes. So like I was saying, I want to put the little ones with the potatoes, the small potatoes, and maybe the garlic a half hour or so after I put the bigger ones in. So this is so that they don't get shriveled up and tiny. So I'm just going to cut my just the hairy bits of the beets off. So pretty. Wait, here's my yellow shirt, you can see. I've already washed and scrubbed these of their soil. This one's not going in yet. the snow's falling off the roof. We have a steel roof, so that's what you kind of want if you live in a place where you get a lot of snow. So this one could get cut in half too. What did you say? This one. The difference in they look like inside, but from outside they look fairly the same. Okay, we're back. Time to do the turnip. Beautiful thing. Days like today, when I can't work outside or I can't shovel the snow yet because more snow is coming today till about 5 o'clock, are brilliant for doing indoor work. Like you see the chairs are up on the tables, mop the floor, as we have concrete floor here and in-ground radiant floor heating under it. It's just for when we have workshops and that's easier to mop. And also I spend these days washing the windows. That's also a good day to do because you want to wash your windows on overcast or gray days so that you don't get streaks on your windows. Like it doesn't get dry before you have the sun doesn't dry the wetness of what you wiping your windows before it's had a chance to naturally dry. So how to do this? Look at this. A bit of a hole in there, and it wasn't visible before when it was whole. Couldn't tell. Smells like turnip. The first time you do this of the year, you forget how long things take to cook or bake or whatever. So, first time this year. Snow's falling off the roof. So you see, it's sort of a slice, and later, as I'm cooking it, if it feels like they're too big, then I can still cut them to smaller slices. But I wonder, maybe I should now. I want to leave some big just to see what happens. But I would like them to all cook at the same time, so yeah, maybe. It's not very earthy, like the soil of the forest. Well, folks, here we are. Everything is all done, ready to go into the oven. Let me just get a overview, whatever shot. And just 4 different kinds of vegetables right now, today, on the menu. And you might be asking, well, what temperature? What temperature? Well, the thing is that this is a wood-fired stove, and so it needs to be, as with them all, needs to be stoked. Fire goes down, and you have to replenish it. So I don't know if you can keep it steady at 350. Go ahead and do. Otherwise, this is the firebox, and the fire's almost dead. I gotta add more to it. Yeah, a lot more. Okay, we'll come back and look at it again. maybe in a half hour to an hour. So folks, here we are. Not quite done yet, but you can see how it's roasted somewhat, mostly. The garlic is still in its peel. The beets and the turnip. And on this side we have carrots and potatoes. And getting nicely caramelized. And another little while and it will be completely done. Completely caramelized and softer. Anyway, I don't know how long this whole thing took to do, but I hope you give it a try. Enjoy. Oh, just one more thing before I go. We have a wood-fired cook stove, and if you look here, if you ever wonder it, this is a lower part of a tree, but it doesn't have to be. These two bits that you see here, that's what a branch looks like inside of, here's the inside of a trunk of a tree that you don't get to see. So it starts from there, and then it pokes through the trunk and it comes out this way. So now you know behind the scenes of a branch. Huh? Interesting. Bye.